Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking a look at the MOFI one-step release of Muddy Waters Folk Singer. I have a couple of other pressings on hand to compare it to, so stay tuned. Before we get to it, if you're new, please consider subscribing. If you could hit subscribe, notification, if you could all hit the like button, you'd be helping out the channel, and you'll be sure to get notified of any new content that comes up. So let's state one fact right at the beginning. It's really hard to make a bad pressing of Muddy Waters Folk Singer. Some things that could plague it would be noisy vinyl or an inability to control the voice. If you've ever heard this recording, you know that it's extremely dynamic. It can go from a whisper to a shout in a few seconds, and sometimes the shout can appear to veer into distortion on certain pressings. This is something that you want to avoid, but you don't want to squash the dynamic range. So it's a balancing act with this album, I would say. I have this edition. This was my first pressing of this, and I, for years, considered this to be a top-level audiophile album, and it still is. This is the Anadisc one-step. This is from mid-period MOFI, when they were putting out 200-gram pressings on the Anadisc imprint, and it still holds up pretty good. I also have this, which is the AP 45 edition, and this one sort of stole the crown from the original MOFI. For my listening sessions, I put on the original MOFI first. I enjoyed it. It's a spectacular recording. It sounded great. However, I felt like the vinyl wasn't as quiet as it could be. Essential for this record. Essential. There's a lot of empty space in the recording, and you don't want to hear vinyl noise. And I did with this. The other thing is, it seems like there's a slight veil between you and the listener when compared to the other pressings. The voice is handled well, not as well as the other two pressings though. Sometimes I felt like it was veering into distortion. Not quite, but just enough to like make you look at it and say, let me check my parameters here and make sure it's not mistracking, which I did. The 45, on the other hand, is quieter. It's got the advantage of 45, which spreads out what is a short album already in two very short sides. I mean, look at the first disc, which has two cuts on it. It's got a lot of dead wax, so a lot of room for maximum fidelity, and they get it. They get it. When this came out, people were like, this is the ultimate pressing. And it's been that way ever since. And now that this has come out, there is a little bit of a question. And people have to decide for themselves what they feel is the best. I put on the one step after listening to all of these very carefully. One other thing I found with the comparison between the original MOFI and the 45 from AP is it is quieter vinyl. The voice is handled very well. The detail on the guitar is more noticeable, and overall has a more musical sense to it. it lifts the veil that was between you and the music on the original MOFI. And it's a stunning record, just beautiful, beautiful record. I'm so thrilled to have it, and I'm even more thrilled for everyone else that it's still in print for like $60. So, is the MOFI the new reigning champ? I have to say it's a little hard to say, because either one sounds spectacular. The MOFI doesn't do anything wrong. It has the advantage of the 45. It's broken up in the same way. It does have the advantage of quieter vinyl, and this may be a sticking point for people on the edge about getting it. If you want this to sound as quiet as possible, even though the AP45 is quiet, this one on the Neotech Supervinyl is dead quiet, and that is a big plus, because there's a lot of open space in this record. There's, you know, long passages of quiet. There's very low mumblings from Muddy before he goes into a shout, and everything is captured here on the one step. It is also there on the AP, but just with a little bit quieter vinyl, you get a little bit more realism, and that was a plus. As far as the sound in general, the dynamic range, the bass, they're pretty similar. They're really pretty similar, and I think if you have the AP45, you're probably all set. If you're a diehard MOFI collector and you have to have the latest one step, you won't be disappointed at all. There's nothing to be disappointed about in it. Mine was near perfect. I did have a little issue. I'm not sure if it's worth returning or asking for replacements on the inner jackets once again. But this is what comes in it, by the way. You get a photo card of a session. You get the replication of the original cover with, actually this isn't the original cover, this is the AP inner cover, which I guess they were allowed to use. And of course you get the two discs like this. I had a little bit of an issue. I don't even know if you can see it. It's starting to split there. It's on the second one too. Very minor. I don't think I'm gonna lose sleep over that. But the pressings were all very good. They were quiet. They didn't need to be cleaned. I did brush them. I will clean them. But I wanted to see, you know, how it was without going through a cleaning regimen, and they were very silent, and they were more silent than the AP. So it's kind of a toss-up. One thing, okay, this is kind of how it is, in my opinion. This, you get the quiet super vinyl. You get the same sound quality as the AP. You also get a bulky box. You also don't get a nice gatefold. This, you get the sound quality, pretty much 90% of the quiet vinyl. It's really well done at QRP. And you get the beautiful Stoughton gatefold, takes up less space. So, there you have it. I'd like to have both. But most people don't need both, or any more than 2 copies of this album. So, like I said, if you have the AP, you're probably all set. If you're a diehard lover of this album, you probably want to have the MOFI as well for the extra quiet vinyl. And that's my take on it. If you have any opinion on it, I would love to hear your opinion in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.